Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane will today visit the families of the students who tragically lost their lives in a fatal accident yesterday morning in the Merafong area west of Johannesburg. It is alleged that the minibus was hit from behind by a bakkie, causing it to overturn and subsequently catch alight. The authorities are currently investigating the circumstances around the incident. For more on this, we cross to SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis. Good afternoon, Chriselda. What's the latest on your end?
All right, indeed, as you mentioned, the Gauteng Education MEC, Matome Chiloane, has arrived at the home where 4 children lost their lives, 4 children from one family. They were cousins. And the devastation inside, as the media, of course, is outside the house as the MEC is meeting with the family inside, offering his condolences. You'd know, of course, that in total, these 4 children who passed on in this tragedy yesterday were from the Rocklands Primary School. Now, you would know that in total, from the Rocklands Primary School, 10 children had lost their lives, and 1 was from the Blyvoor Primary School as well. You would know, of course, since the tragedy struck yesterday, that 7 other children had been injured. 6 of those have since been discharged, and 1, we understand, still remains in hospital at this time. What you're seeing at this stage is just some members of the community and those, of course, accompanying the MEC have gathered at the home of this family that have lost 4 of their children from this Rocklands Primary School, where in total at that school, the devastation, 10 in total of the children have lost their lives. So this is the second time, of course, that the MEC is returning to this particular area, of course, having visited that devastating scene yesterday. He is now here to offer his condolences to these families. Of course, this family struck by tragedy 4 times. What we do understand is that the 4 children from this household who perished or died in this accident were cousins. In fact, the mothers are sisters. So you would understand the blow that has taken. Just speaking to SABC News reporter Monique Lewis, who was also on this story as well, she tells me that a case of culpable homicide has also been opened in this particular matter. Of course, authorities are still going to investigate exactly what has taken place. But from what we do know is that you had a bakkie that had basically rammed into the scholar transport vehicle that has led to this tragedy. So, of course, to give the family privacy, together with the MEC, they are now gathered just here behind me inside the house. And this is, of course, we'll hear from the MEC a bit later on, perhaps what kind of support will be given to this family. Of course, these are 2 schools that have been struck by this tragedy, and they'll be relying on some kind of support from the Gauteng Education Department. You can certainly believe the devastation for both of these, but for this family, tragedy striking 4 times, a very difficult moment for them. And as we have already indicated, there had been 6 other children that had been injured in this particular accident, and 6 of those, I think, one of them still remains in hospital at this time. We'll certainly get an update from the MEC in terms of what the situation is currently. And these families are certainly going to have to start preparing for that difficult moment now of having to bury their loved ones. So at this particular stage, about 5 minutes ago or so, we had the MEC arriving here, and he's still in conversation, of course, with the families at this time. I don't know if I'm going to be in any position. I think the South African Democratic Teachers Union, I think, is also here as well, from what I am seeing. I wonder if there is any chance at this particular point, if I'm able to perhaps speak to any one of them at this point. Baba, not at this particular stage. I think what they're still trying to do as well is to hear more from the family, and perhaps once the MEC has come out to give us further details. The South African Democratic Teachers Union as well. If it asked my colleague Bakkie just to show you towards that particular direction. These are some of the people, of course, who've also come to show support to this bereaved family at this particular time. Absolutely devastating. You would know, of course, as I earlier indicated, that for one school in particular, absolute devastation with the 10 children, passing away from just one school. So 4 of those are from this particular household here where we have been gathered at this point. So we'll get further details at a later stage about what the condition is of that one child who is still in hospital at this stage. The others, of course, have been discharged from what we understand at this particular point. The driver as well of that particular Scarlet Transport, we understand, was also part of those who had passed away in this very horrific accident that has taken place. You can understand some of those who have gathered here also bringing some flowers, to share as part of their condolences to this particular family. So at this stage, we're going to wait for the MEC to come out of this particular meeting that he is having with the family at this time. And just to give you a bit of details of what we know at this stage, those from this household, the 4 little children who have passed away in this tragedy, the one was in grade 5, the other in grade 2, the other in grade 3, and the other in grade 7. So you can only but imagine the life that has been cut short of these young children who left home, those 4 children leaving their home together with the others, and subsequently losing their lives at such a very young age. And just to give you a sense of that, one was born in 2013, the other in 2017, the other in 2015, and the other in 2012. We do have their names at this particular stage, but I'd prefer not to mention them at this time in case there are other members of families that it may not have been conveyed this news at this stage. But, messages of condolence. This certainly, President Cyril Ramaphosa also yesterday sending his condolences with regard to what has taken place. Absolute devastation. So many children having to pass away on their way, of course, to school, meeting their untimely death, and clearly giving you an indication of exactly how young they were. We'll get an update a little bit later on. We'll cross to you a bit later on as well on that to give you a sense of what the condition is of those who are still in hospital at this stage. We understand one is still in hospital at this stage. We'll give the MEC some time with the family inside before we get an update on that. For now, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much to our SABC senior reporter, Chriselda Lewis, for that update.